What's up, it's Marco back on today's soccer channel. Today I'm going to talk about the U.S. men's national team preliminary squad for the Gold Cup, and man, it's a really interesting team we have set up. We're actually not bringing too many talented players, like guys like Pulisic, McKinney, Adams. They're all being rested for this tournament, and rested and I guess given the opportunity to have a full preseason with their club teams. And while it is good to see, I mean, at the same time, Mexico didn't feel the need to do that, Canada didn't feel the need to do that, and I really don't think that these players would just not play for their team if they don't get a full preseason in. I mean, they're going to have fitness anyway, but yeah, it is what it is, and we still have a pretty talented roster coming out of the team despite that. I mean, how many of these guys I see playing full-time for the national team? Not too sure, but we are pretty injury-prone, unfortunately, so it is good to see these guys play in action. So what I'm going to be running through the squad, what I think are the most talented players to bring to this team, and then go through at the end and change it given the circumstances, like if they're playing too much or if I think they should prioritize their club career at the moment. So anyway, getting started, going up front, and this was the toughest decision I thought, because we've got, even though it's not the most talented, it is pretty deep at its position, which I don't know if that makes the most sense, but yeah, there's some decent players in there. The easiest guy to go with is Daryl Dike up front, great finisher, great athlete, and the potential of his hold-up play with his attributes is insane, and yeah, this is a guy that we need in the team, and I honestly feel like he should be starting for the first team. Next guy, this is a tough decision, but I want to go with Jozy Altidore because, goals are very important, and right now Jozy Altidore is the best finisher we have in the MLS. He's the best goal scorer, well, now that Daryl Dike is back, but we'll get to that later. But Altidore, he's a very good goal scorer, and we know that he can score in CONCACAF, and that's what we need right now, because I don't want to risk starting Josh Sargent and drawing 0-0 with Honduras, because right now goals are important, and we know that Zardes can get us goals, and I feel like he should stay in the national team setup because of that. Last guy, I want to go with 3 strikers for this tournament, and this is a pretty tough one. I tossed it up between Matthew Hoppe and Cade Cowell, but I want to go with Matthew Hoppe. Just the talent that he showed in the Bundesliga, I feel like that's something that we need in this team, and just the potential of that, and especially because he's probably not going to be playing. And I feel like Cade Cowell has a bit more stuff to work on before he's ready for the national team. So does Hoppe, to be fair, but I feel like he's closer. For guys that I didn't pick, Cade Cowell, as I mentioned, could have gone either way. He'll probably be in the squad anyway. Jozy Altidore, I feel like we should just be past him, and I really want to see Nicolo Giacchini go to a higher level before he gets back to the team. Next we have out wide, and it was a tough decision given this is probably the least talented spot on the team, but Paul Arriola, Chris Mueller, and Frankie Amaya was actually listed as an attacker, and I assume they're going to be putting him out wide. I'm not too sure about that because he hasn't played there before, but I feel like it's a Brendan Aronson type situation, and he's talented enough, and this attacking pool is a bit lower at the wing position, so I want to put him in anyway, and it's another attacking midfielder to have. So yeah, that's who I want to go with out wide. Jonathan Lewis, I just don't think he's good enough for the national team. Robbie Robinson, I don't feel like he's ready. And Arriola, Mueller, they're not going to be in the main national team, but just what we have, it is what it is. Next, this was actually probably another tough pick in the midfield. I want to go with Gianluca Busio, Cade Clark, Julian Green, and then I want to return Kellyn Acosta and Sebastian Lleglet, and the last pick that I wanted to go with was Leon Flock. So going through everybody, Gianluca Busio, pretty self-explanatory, great player. He can pretty versatile as well. He can be playing in the 6. He might be somebody that could really be that backup 6 that we need or starter given Tyler Adams' injury record. But he's a very good player, and I want to see more of him. I've been seeing him linked with some moves abroad, but yeah, just great player, and I feel like he needs to be in this team right now. Cade Clark, man, great goal scorer, great threat for that Leipzig, that Red Bull team. Hopefully he'll be on Leipzig soon. Yeah, he's somebody we need in the squad. Julian Green, man, just very creative player. I think he's a great set piece guy, and I feel like this is a team with MLS players. When you watch a full MLS team, they can really lack creativity, and I'm hoping that Julian Green can provide that for this team. I wanted to return Sebastian Lleglet. I think that he's a good enough player for the first team, honestly. Pretty versatile as well, and somebody who I feel like in the short term is good enough for the national team. Kellyn Acosta, I said before he shouldn't be starting for the national team, and I still believe that even on this team, but I really like the effort that he put in during the Gold Cup. he is a little bit versatile as well, and just him coming on to close out a game, I feel pretty comfortable with that. Though, as I mentioned before, he should not be near the starting lineup. And Leon Flock of the Philadelphia Union, he's the guy who's basically come out of nowhere. He's 20, he came over from Germany, and yeah, he's been lighting the league on fire. Just such a great player. I feel like another guy who would be that backup six that we need, and just so much talent there. And honestly, we might need to cap time soon. So yeah, I want to get Leon Flock in. For guys who didn't pick, Jackson Ewell is probably the biggest omission, but I just don't rate him at all. I feel like Busio, I feel like Flock's better option at the six. I honestly like Andres Pereira as well, who I didn't even pick. But yeah, I feel like it's time to move on from him. I feel like we have more talent than Cristian Roldan, and Cole Bassett was somebody who was close but didn't make it in. Andres Pereira, somebody who I do like, even if I'm not even sure if he'll play for us, but he does have to play more for Orlando City. And Johnny Cardoso, he's not playing, and he honestly didn't impress at all in the Olympics, so I don't want to put him in the team. Fullback is, pretty easy aside from one. Left back, I want to go with George Bello and, not Kyle Duncan, Sam Vines. I feel like probably the two best left backs we have available. I'm not too sure about either of their ceilings, but if they're able to just develop and hit their ceiling, that's a decent backup for Anthony Robinson and us not having to call up Tim Ream anymore. Outright, Reggie Cannon, probably the easiest pick of this, even if he might not even be available. And I think it's a toss-up between Kyle Duncan, Aaron Herrera, and Julian Arujo. I go with Kyle Duncan. I feel like he's a very good player, at least at the MLS level, and probably who I feel the most comfortable with in the squad. But as I mentioned, it's a toss-up, and I wouldn't be mad at any of those three. Next, we have the center back position, and this one I feel like is another easier one. Cameron Carter-Vickers, he's somebody who needs to be in the squad. Championship level, he might even get to the Premier League pretty soon. I saw that Newcastle was interested in him. I mentioned that yesterday, but yeah, very good player. I feel like Walker Zimmerman, he might not have a high ceiling, but at the moment, the center back position isn't that deep, and I feel like you have to prioritize talented and solid players over trying to grow something. So, I'm going to have Justin Shea in the team, but over guys like James Sands and Erik Palmer-Brown, like I feel like just that experience matters, so I'm going to be taking Miles Robinson as well. I mean, again, just a solid enough center back, and somebody who's playing at an MLS level, I feel like he can handle CONCACAF competition, and that's what's really important in the near future. And then Justin Shea, I mean, I just mentioned potential, but dude's been trained at Bayern, they seem to like him, so I feel like that's too much to pass up. As I mentioned with the snubs, Erik Palmer-Brown, I want to see him at a bit of a higher level than just Austria, and he will do that because he's going to get loaned out again. And I feel like I saw that his team might have gotten financially in trouble or something, so I'm not even sure if they'll be able to have him back. And James Sands, he's somebody I want to see more of before I put him in the team. Lastly, we've got the goalkeeper position. Matt Turner, Bill Hamid, Sean Johnson, they're probably my picks for the squad. Matt Turner or Bill Hamid, that's a tough pick for who to start. I do really like Bill Hamid, but Matt Turner, he's been showing a lot of good things lately. I feel like Brad Guzan, probably too old for the team, and Tim, I don't know, I feel like it's a bit too late to have him in the squad. I would have taken JT Martinowski, though. I'm not sure he was in that selection, but yeah, that's who I would like to have in the team. Though I think, given the circumstances of this being a pretty late in the summer tournament and a couple guys were just in the Nations League, I'd leave out some of these guys. Daryl Dike, I'd probably want him to be replaced by Cade Cowell. I feel like you should prioritize getting that move in and getting right into a team when it comes up, if that's what's important to us. And it sucks because I feel like Daryl Dike is probably he's probably the best player on the team, but yeah, I feel like it's better in the long term for him if he prioritizes his club career at the moment. Then Kellyn Acosta and Sebastian Lleglet, they both play in the Nations League, and I feel like they don't really need the time of the national team. We know what they're about at this point. So I'd probably throw in Andres Pereira, as I mentioned, I like him, and Cole Bassett. He's somebody who I honestly haven't seen too much of him, but people are really high on him, and yeah, I feel like it's worth a shot on his potential. And lastly, Reggie Cannon. He should not be in this team, just given everything. He's got a move coming. He was just in the Nations League. I have no idea why he's in the team. If he plays, that's awesome. But yeah, replace him with Julian Arujo, if you ask me. But yeah, that's about it. I don't want to replace anybody else. Justin Shea, he's not going to start with Bayern. If they want him, they want him already. Matthew Hoppe, I don't think he's going to start with a new club if he goes there. Cameron Carter-Vickers, I don't feel like he's going to get a transfer till the end of the summer, so I feel like playing in the Gold Cup would be good. With Julian Green, Gordon Firth know what he's about right now. If he's going to be replaced when they get promoted, he's going to be replaced. They already made that decision. And, I don't feel like Gianluca Busio is going to move, so, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, pretty decent squad given the circumstances. I would have liked to see more, better players, but hey, I feel like this is a decent squad, and honestly, I don't feel like we can win the tournament right now. I mean, just going through everybody, but Mexico got a really good team. I'm interested to see the Canada game going up against Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David, Hutchinson. That's going to be an interesting game, but yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. Not too much pressure on the team as well, so they should be able to play free given low expectations. But yeah, that's all I've talked about. Yeah, see you.